Hey y'all, this is Lydia. There's a strong message coming through, especially as we approach eclipse season. We're about a week and a half out from eclipse season kicking off with a new moon or a solar eclipse in Scorpio on the south node. And it's not close to the nodes, actually. It's not a super powerful one in that respect, but I'm still getting a very intense energy. And I think it's going to be an intense one regardless because one, Scorpio, and two, Mars, which is about to station retrograde at the end of the month, is slowing down, squaring Neptune retrograde, and it's going to be hammering the moon in the south node a few hours after the eclipse peaks or perfects. And this is a strong energy of really prioritizing your higher understanding through your body and the feeling state within your body and your emotional body, and really tuning into the information that's coming in that feels right. And it's not intellectual information, it is, in a sense, it's intellectual, it's divine intelligence, but it's the divine intelligence within us. And I'm seeing a strong trend and a strong parallel of when, let's say, looking back at the Roman Catholic Church and the Holy Roman Emperor and going back into those times, there was this energy of if the Catholic Church didn't codify it or put it out or decree it, then if you went against it, you were either killed or excommunicated, and you were sort of unplugged from the system that they deemed was God's system and the right system and the divine system, which it wasn't. And I'm seeing a parallel sort of energy now, because if you even go back to the time of Martin Luther, his whole thing was humans can connect to God on their own. They don't need to go through the church. So they excommunicated him, obviously. But today we're seeing the same trend with science. It's almost like science is the new papacy. And we're being excommunicated for anyone who's independent, going through their own divine intuition and deciding that they can connect to the truth and the information that they feel is pertinent to what the decisions they need to make. They're being demonized now, and they're being, you could call it canceled, made out to look crazy, called conspiracy theorists, labeled blah, 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 blah. But there's this parallel energy of you, if you don't participate in the system the way they deem that you need to participate in the system, there is this energy of, well, we're just going to unplug you. And I can see them sort of setting up the system to make that easier by getting things online and getting transactional and more electronic and moving away from cash and moving more into the internet and things of that nature, because, you know, we've seen it with social media platforms. They could just disappear you and you have no voice, and they can really limit your reach based on what you're saying. So what I'm getting very strongly off of this hammer that's happening on the south node between Mars and Neptune, and the moon is what's being hammered with the south node. It's this energy of not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, so to speak. This is energy of not looking outside of yourself for information, but trusting your inner authority and trusting your own divine intelligence to make the decisions you know you need to make. And you know they're right because they feel right. And in your whole body, it feels right. And this isn't right in the sense of right or wrong. It's right in the sense of it is true for you. And what's true for you isn't necessarily true for anyone else. And that's another thing. We can't start basing the right decision based on what people are doing around us. This is very much being in a state of independence. And I was watching the Midheaven podcast on YouTube recently, and they brought it up, this idea of independence being frowned upon now and it not being supported, especially as Pluto is going to be moving into Aquarius, and Pluto being the villain is, you know, Aquarius is the people, and Aquarius on one hand is everyone working together and the people. On the other hand, it's also independence and the independent person being part of the whole and contributing their unique value to the whole. So, which is also reflected in these eclipse cycles, right? It's in Scorpio and Taurus, which is dealing with value, which is dealing with resource, and it's dealing with the truth that's within us and taking that to a higher place by living it and embodying it out in the world and building our lives upon that foundation, that inner foundation of value, self-worth, and self-love, and beauty, and what we consider to be beautiful. So coming into this eclipse cycle, I feel there's a lot of challenge. Perhaps we're at a lot of crossroads where it's either a personal decision where we need to push past a point that we haven't pushed past before, that is taking things to a new level and perhaps even uprooting some very deep-seated issues or hurts or pains that have been sort of wreaking havoc on our ability to progress. That's being uprooted, and the way that happens is it confronts us, and we have to confront that issue that we're dealing with head on and really perhaps even be slapped in the face with it, which is unpleasant, but at the same time necessary. And it can also be just feeling like there's a decision we need to make and it's very hard to make and we don't know what the right decision is and we're afraid to make the wrong decision. And this is also reflected in where the sun is in the 32nd gene key of a fear of making a mistake or a fear of taking the wrong path. And we're being called right now to not allow the past to have such a hold on us and not allow our deep-seated wounds to have such a hold on us, but to really move into more freedom and more freedom within our being, to be free in expression, to be free in who we are, and to be free to pursue who we want to become and to shape our avatar and to shape our lives and to shape our creativity in ways that we want to express them in our own unique way. And to not hold back for any reason, not hold back if people don't get it, not hold back if people, don't follow you or like it. It's very much a very sovereign energy we're being asked to step into. And again, to tap into that divine intelligence, into that inner knowing of like, okay, I can see the fear and I can differentiate the fear of the clarity of where I feel I need to go, and to go down that path and to go in that direction and to face whatever blocks or fears we might have and to move to a higher level. And believe it or not, it's actually been made easy for us on some level because it's so clear, but at the same time, it could be a hard decision. It could be having to let go of something that we've always held on to, having to let go of something that we're afraid to let go of, and to move into a new chapter in our lives and not necessarily know what it's going to look like or how it's going to play out, but be in that high trust. That's Neptune, that divine, high, surrendered trust of knowing that when we follow our inner authority and our highest path within us and our highest heart within us of what we know is meant for us and what we know we want for ourselves, and to go down that path in full love and not necessarily against anyone and not feeling like we're raging against any machine, but to just go down that path because that's what we want to do and we love it so much that we can't turn away from it. We're being asked to go down those roads and to go in those directions, because when humanity is living in that place, just imagine how beautiful the world could be. So just to top it off, I'm going to pull a card from the Fountain Tarot and just see what the tarot has to say. But that felt pretty comprehensive of the information that I've been getting. And it's been beautiful, I think, on one level to see this new chapter beginning, even though there's, some fear, there's some blockage that needs to be worked through, even in my own path, just having to confront some things that I didn't know were there. It's a lifelong journey of uncovering things and cycles, and coming into that new cycle of uncovering that deeper layer and being like, okay, this is the next one I need to love on and to feel into and to go into, to bring light into that situation within me, or that, fear or blockage within me. And even though it's been challenging, it's also just been really beautiful and almost liberating to feel that I feel capable in doing that. And I think that's the boon right now, feeling capable even though it's scary. So, the Ace of Coins. A brand new beginning, and the coins energy or the pinnacle energy is material realm. It is abundance that can be tasted, touched, smelled, and felt. And this is a very beautiful card. This is a new chapter card, and it's almost like a lot of the energetic shifts we've been going through and the internal shifts we've been going through, and perhaps even the internal fissures or conflicts within us, they're coming into a resolution point so that we can begin building in a material way and in a tangible way. And we're being given the green light. This is a green light card. This is whatever, has been coming to your mind as I've been talking. It's like, okay, it's go time. It's time to begin. And this is a prosperity card too. This is a sign that it is going to be beautiful, and that don't fear the challenge, don't fear the uncertainty, don't fear the unpredictability. In fact, trust it, and trust that you're always being led to a higher place. So I'm sending love and wishing you well. Bye.